I'm kind of going through the CNN and the Fox News and the global news here in Canada and all these different things. And to be honest, these stories kind of suck.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up? What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, the podcast where I, Mark, get to have open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development. The reason that I started this podcast is so that I can try and help alleviate some of the suffering that's happening out there in silence for those of you who maybe don't know who to talk to, how to start the conversation, or even put the words to the feelings that you're feeling. And so you don't know how to start that conversation. But regardless, every single episode is a little bit different. Some are serious, some are funny, some are interviews, and some are me just rambling on, talking to my phone. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys can kind of pull something out of it in terms of value, maybe a new perspective, maybe a new way of thinking about something. But today, I kind of want to just go over, first off, like some current events that are going on in the world. And I wanted to kind of break them down and try and explain my thoughts, my views, my opinions on these things. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit less political because I think that, you know, you guys are probably tired of hearing all this stuff about politics, not just on my podcast, but on other shows, on social media, etc. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a break today. I'm kind of going through the CNN and the Fox News and the global news here in Canada and all these different things. And to be honest, these stories kind of suck. I'm seeing like Harris is struggling with her relationships with Biden. Biden's approval rate's not too hot right now, but mind you, his predecessor was kind of a controversial guy as well. Yeah, these stories kind of suck. I'm just kind of going through a couple of them right here. Yeah, Elon Musk is trolling Bernie Sanders on Twitter, so that's not very interesting. Here's a good one. Okay, yeah, here's a good one. So, some of these, I guess the best ones are off of actually the Good News Network. So if you guys don't listen or pay attention to the Good News Network, I recommend you should. Reason being is because most other news networks suck and they're very depressing. So Good News Network is something I like to check in with here and there. So I'm going to read you, I guess, a couple stories off here because this is the only kind of good stuff that I'm seeing right now. I'll start off with the first one here. It says, marathon runner stopped by lupus is racing again thanks to an amazing treatment for her autoimmune disorder. So it looks like here we've got, it looks like a lady named Sasheen Reed. And so this woman, I guess, was diagnosed. It says she gave birth in May 2020 and then went into a really bad flare about 6 weeks postpartum. So she was a marathon runner before this, and then she had given birth. She had a huge flare-up of her lupus, which if you don't know much about, ALS or lupus or other autoimmune disorders, then you're not alone because I actually don't know too much about them in general as is. But what I am getting from this story so far is she didn't let this defeat her. I'm kind of going through this right now. She says she started the trial of this medication in October 2020. Her husband subscribes to this foundation that kind of talks about this stuff. So he's always been sending her new medications so that she could check out. She had joint pain, she had hair loss, and all these different things. But it looks like recently she just completed, her first 6 kilometer, which is a huge milestone for her. And I'm going to actually link these stories below so you can read a little bit more. But that's kind of just the gist of it right now. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because a lot of the times, we're told something by a professional, whether it be like a medical, condition that we might have. And that kind of puts, this idea around, what we can do, what we can't do. And a lot of the times it feels like maybe some of the things that we've done in the past have been stolen from us, which I'm sure that this lady probably felt like as well. Like, running was kind of taken from her because of this disease that she has. And so one of the things that I kind of pull out of this story is, she didn't really let that, I guess, yeah, she didn't let that like kind of medical condition become a limitation for her, in the sense that, you know, she's going to keep running. She's not letting, you know, running being something that's taken away from her. I feel like that's really powerful stuff right there. I think that that's, you know, a huge inspiration for a lot of us, because even myself, I get told some things by doctors about what I can and can't do, and some limitations that I might face because of certain conditions that I've been on, or that I've had, or different medications that I've been on, etc. And I think that this lady, you know, I think that she speaks to a lot of us. She speaks to me in terms of, you know, not letting, you know, these types of things actually become something that stop us. I talk about this a lot in terms of, you know, life's going to throw us curveballs, and these things are detours. They're not roadblocks. It's not completely blocking the path for us. It just might change the path that we take to get to the same destination. And so I think that this woman here is a huge, you know, I guess, icon in terms of not letting these things control our lives. So again, this is something that I talk about all the time, but this woman, she is not letting her circumstances control her. She's controlling what she can control about the situation, which is trying new medications, trying new ways to deal with this in terms of treatment, but also trying to figure out ways that she can continue to do the things that she loves. So that's huge. I love that. Big ups to you, Sasheen Reed. Fuck yeah, you're my hero. The second story I'm going to kind of cover right now, this one looks pretty dope. This one here, the title of this one here is Sikh men created a lifeline using turbans to rescue hikers at a Canadian park. So this one's a local story for me. They're not always Canadian stories on here, so I'm happy to see that. It looks like, okay, so it was at Golden Ears Provincial Park. And so I watched the video of this one already. I'm not going to rewatch it right now. You guys can check that out if you enjoy. But basically, 5 guys from Surrey, which is it's a suburb of Vancouver, were on this hike, I guess, or they were at the provincial park, and it looked like 2 other hikers that were there were kind of stranded on, you know, I guess to paint a picture for you guys, there's this like kind of rushing water at the bottom and a steep wall these 2 hikers are stuck on, and then up above, there's these 5 other dudes that are walking by, and they are just kind of seeing these other hikers. They said they can't call 911 or any emergency services because there's no network or services like phone service where they are. And so these 5 individuals, they're actually international students, which is even fucking cooler. These 5 international students kind of see these other 2 hikers that are suffering. They take off their turbans and their jackets, and they tie them all together and make this super long rope, and then they throw it down and start pulling the hikers up. So that's fucking sick. That kind of just restores my faith in humanity, because, you know, yeah, like, what do? Like, you're on a hike with like 4 of your buddies, and you see 2 people like fucking literally near death, like falling into this fucking river that's rushing at fucking 9,000 miles an hour. And these 5 fucking brave guys, instead of trying to run away or turning a blind eye, like, they literally, with the clothes off their back, fucking saved these fucking 2 people. And so these guys are fucking local legends as far as I'm concerned. That's fucking unreal. I know for myself, like, if I saw 2 people stranded there, I've got fucking nothing to help them out. So these guys, they fucking really, you know, they put their heads together, like literally and figuratively, and fucking saved these people. And so that's fucking unreal. Fucking sick dudes, guys. Like, fuck, that's really fucking unreal. It says neither required medical treatment. They were released on their own reconnaissance. It says they got a stern warning. So there's a fucking stern warning to pay closer mind to what they're doing next time, because, you know, these fucking 5 guys aren't going to babysit you for the rest of your life. So big firm warning for the fucking 2 hikers that got stuck there, and for the 5 guys, you know, that saved them. It doesn't look like they were given like kind of any reward or anything like that. But it says in a quote here, it says, you know, in their religion, they're taught to help someone in any way that they can with anything that they have, even our turbans. That's what it says in the quote. So I fucking love that. they should. It doesn't look like they were given a reward of any kind, but these two fucking hikers literally owe them their lives. So that's pretty fucking unreal as well. So big ups to them. I guess that fucking really reminds me to carry some more rope, because I don't have any turbans or really anything that I can make a rope out of if I see someone struggling. So I feel like now when I go on hikes, I'm going to try and remember a rope. But let's move on to the next story. The next story here, I've got one, and it says, students build solar panel pop-up van for touring in a brilliant motorhome that has zero emissions. So this is fucking sick. I knew, like, because of the pandemic, I know, like, a lot of people have been trying to camp more or get, like, a camper van that they could, you know, get away from, I guess, fucking reality for a little while. Like, with the fact that, like, it's kind of difficult to go on vacation or go on any planes or trains anywhere right now. It's definitely something that's becoming more and more popular, but it took a team of 22 Dutch university students. They completed a 1,800-mile road trip powered literally only by the sun. They've got this fucking camper van that literally looks like Elon Musk's Cybertruck with fucking solar panels everywhere. But there's like a bedroom and a kitchen in this thing. And yeah, it looks like it can travel pretty well. It says that on a cloudy day, the vehicle can still produce 60 to 70% of the energy that they need. So that's pretty fucking dope, because that's kind of the biggest argument in terms of solar. People are like, well, what do you do on a cloudy day? And I don't really know much about it, so I don't really know. But basically, yeah, this thing, it even had a license plate. I guess that's what makes it street legal, but that's pretty fucking dope. Yeah, when I look at this thing, it kind of gives me hope. It gives me kind of good vibes, because I think that, if you're going to want to get some solutions out of people, I think that probably 22 Dutch university students scared of their student loans or student debt, you know, they're probably going to be pretty eager to solve some problems. And that's kind of funny for me, but it's also kind of literal. I think that a lot of the times, you know, when we find problems in life, like when we find problems maybe, in our lives, we're always kind of trying to rely on, you know, not just the government, but other people to kind of solve these problems. And, you know, a lot of the things that we deal with on like a global crisis level, like things like global warming and things like that, you know, I feel like a lot of the times we're worried about, you know, maybe if we, and this is kind of a hot topic here in North America, but you know, there's this weird conception that if we just give the government more money, then they're going to solve these problems. But I think that this story kind of aligns with what I think to be true, which is, you know, a lot of the times that these problems are going to be solved in terms of like, you know, entrepreneurs that want to solve problems and definitely make money. And so it's within their best interest to solve as many problems as they can, or one problem really, really well. And then, you know, they're obviously going to be heavily rewarded for that. Hopefully these students were heavily rewarded for what they've accomplished. But I feel like a lot of the times when we're dealing with struggles or issues in our lives, we're looking for other people to solve them, when really, like, this is 22 fucking students who just solved this problem. Like, I'm sure you know 21 other people. And I'm not trying to say that you could collaborate with everybody you know, but I'm saying that I'm sure you could build a team right now of people that, you know, maybe see a similar problem to you. And I think that if you were to allocate your, you know, knowledge and perspectives properly, you can solve a lot of problems. So I think that this is a cool kind of solution that they've found, and they've only found this solution or realized or completed this process, in my eyes, just because they worked together as a team to solve a problem that they found. And so I think that that's pretty powerful shit right there, because I think that a lot of the times, you know, when we struggle with something or when we see a problem with something, we internalize it and make it like an individual problem, like we're the only ones dealing with that problem. And so I feel like, you know, if you took all 22 of these students and broke them up individually, I'm sure they all individually thought this problem was insurmountable. But when they got together and cultivated 22 minds that all see the same problem and were all motivated to fix it, and they weren't going to wait for someone else to come and do the job. They actually all just banded together. I'm sure they raised funds. I'm sure they did a lot of research together. I'm sure they failed a lot along the way, but these guys or girls all had a common vision in terms of what the problem was and how they could solve it, and they worked together building that solution. So I think that that's fucking dope. I'm going to link all 3 of these stories in the description or in the show notes of this podcast episode, whether you're watching the video or listening to the podcast. I'm going to link all 3 of these stories for you so you can check them out yourself. But that's fucking sick. I'm pretty pumped up after listening to those stories. I'm sure you guys, I'm sure you guys probably are too. I hope that it kind of gave you a new perspective. If you like this kind of format, you want me to kind of cover more news stories like this, then let me know in the comment section below or DM me on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, then you'll be able to fucking message me. If you don't, then my Instagram will be down here at the bottom of the screen if you're watching the YouTube version of this. If you listen to the podcast version, again, that'll be in the show notes, so you can go and check it out. Reach out to me on Instagram. Let me know. Do you like these news stories? Should I fuck off with them? Do you want to, maybe ask me a question like the old format of, hey, Mark, you send in a little clip, hey, Mark, and then you got a question. I'll answer it, give you my perspectives, but reach out to me on Instagram, guys. I really like engaging with you guys. I like when you guys reach out to me and let me know what content you like seeing. But that's all I got for today. So I hope that this kind of, maybe brightened your mood, brought you some good news, or gave you a new perspective on life or any of these stories. So if you got some value out of this, share the show, help me grow. But that's all I got for today. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for the continued support, and thank you for the love and support. Now I'm rambling, so I'm out of here. Much love, and peace out, motherfuckers. Love you all.